Yo, what is up, guys? Bakugan Brothers East here. It's your boy Reek, and today I got a deck profile for you guys, right? So this deck in particular is to show off the deck that won the last video brawl, not video brawl, but battle video that we just put up a minute ago. So yeah, this is my take on Empower. It's Pyro's Darkest Chaos, as you can see. Actually, I'm not gonna show off the deck quite yet. The Bakugan I use are Pyro's Dragonoid Exiltor Ultra. He's 801, plays a double Fire Fist, and he costs 8 fuse. A lot of people are probably thinking, like, you know, why would you play such a high cost fusion? I'll show you the cards I'm playing in the deck that makes it a lot easier to play, but he becomes 2005, which is really good late game. Next, I play Darkest Imperial Ultra. He's one of the best Darkest openers we have. He plays an Orange Shield and a Magic Shield. He's 802. Pretty strong. And next up, we have Chaos, Dragonoid, and Treaders. He plays a Magic Shield and a Green Fist, and he's 603, and he costs 3 to fuse. He's one of the best fusions we have, in my opinion, honestly. He comes out at 1205, so turn 3, you probably just fuse him, open him up on that plus 800 fusion core, and he becomes 2000 out the gate, which is really strong, I like to think. So, yeah. The cores that I play with these guys are, I play, like I just said a minute ago, the fusion, the Magic Shield, that's a fusion plus 800, helps them out late game, these two in particular. I play the other Magic Shield I play is a 650, just to help out the Ramparian or the Drago, whichever one I open first. I roll first on turn 1. I play a Fire Fist that's 200B plus 3 damage and minus 2 for gear. Makes my gears really cheap. The best Fire Fist we have. I play a plus 6 damage core. This just helps when I'm caught up like in a minus or Mac battle. These guys don't really have that strong of damage. So it just kind of helps me maybe get the extra edge that I might need to possibly win that battle. And if nothing else, it forces the opponent to, you know, play more cards and just burn more cards on hand. So that's why I play that. I play the best Green Fist we have, the plus 50B, plus 1 damage, minus 2 for gear. Another better Green Fist in my opinion. And then for the Orange Shield, I'll play a plus 200B, minus 2 for gear. I know some people like to play the plus 300B, minus 1 for gear, but I just like that extra gear reduction. It makes a big difference for me and my deck, so that's what I play. Alright, cool, so let's slide these guys to the side. And real fast, I'll show off the Bakugan themselves. So we got Drago Exiltor here, looking mighty fine. Actually, I had one of these guys break on me, but I guess maybe it was just that one that I had. Darkest Imperial Ultra, looking great. Looking like a Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, one of those dinos. And lastly, we have the almighty Dragonoid Treaders, looking mighty fine. Looking beefy, chunky, monstrous, all that good jazz. Cool. Alright, the most important part, the reason why we're all here, the deck itself. Alright, so like I said, this is my take on Empower. So first up, I got the action cards for you guys. Gonna separate this right quick. Alright, that there, that there, that there. Cool. Alright, cool. Alright, so we are starting things off with 3 copies of Pyro's Ascendancy. Alright, this is a 0 cost reroll. You may reroll your Bakugan, and in Power, you may pay an additional 3 energy for 700B. I could be playing Quickfire, but I just prefer this card a lot more. Late game, like I said, I'll have ample energy to use, so either with Leah and Dan on the board, or, you know, with other cards that I'll show you in a minute, I'll have the extra energy just to kind of pay that and get the extra 700B. Makes a big difference. Alright, next up, I have 3 copies of Superfuel, the best Pyro's reroll, one of the best Pyro's cards we have in the game. Simple enough, it's a 1 cost reroll. When you open your Bakugan, the next card you play costs 3 less. It's straightforward. Next card you just play just makes it cheaper. Makes all your expensive cards cheaper, like I said. It's like, why not play it? You know, it's an extender, it makes your cards cheaper. You like playing cheap cards. Alright, next up, we have 3 copies of Pyro Obliterator. 2 costs, Chaos Pyros, 700B. Yeah, simple enough. It's just a really good, relatively cheap B-Power booster. 700B is pretty strong. Turn 2, I'll go ahead and drop that, and if they don't have a Midas Needus or Mac or something else to get in my way, excuse me, then yeah, it's a good card to have, just to drop that, and boom, 700B. Alrighty. Next up, one of the best Empower cards we have, or probably the best Empower card we have, Spirit Speed, right? So a lot of people kind of look at this card and it's like, yo, this card's kind of garbage because you have to pay extra energy to play the Empower effect, right? So this guy says he's a 3 cost action card. Play a non-flip card from your hand that costs 5 or less energy for free. In power, you may pay an additional 3 energy to play another non-flip card from your hand that's 5 or less for free. Once again, it's just another extender. Makes other cards cheaper, the other heroes and other action cards I'll show you in a minute cheaper. There's a really cool play I'll make sure to show you off at the end of the video that requires this card and like one other card, and it just makes like my fusions easier to play in the long run. Alright, next up we have a small discard engine, right? So I'm gonna probably bump this down to 2 cards, but for now it's 3. This is Thought Decay. 4 cost, Battle Brawlers card you probably overlooked when the Battle Brawlers set first came out. Choose a player to discard 2 cards. Shout out to Greg from the Nerdy Friends because he kind of gave me the idea to use this card a while back when we played. But yeah, it costs a bit much to play, and you might be thinking, oh, well, why not just play Darkest Shadow? Well, if you wait 1 minute, I'm going to show you that I play Darkest Shadow. But yeah, 4 cost, action card, choose a player to discard 2 cards. Like I said, there's ways to play it cheaper, somewhat for free, like with Spirit Speed, for example. Drop Spirit Speed, drop Thought Decay, having the 2 cards. Pretty good card. It's okay, I guess. Alright, that's out the way. And like I was just saying a minute ago, I play 2 copies of Darkest Shadow. This card just came out of Fusion Force. It's pretty insane. It's a 4 cost action card. It's choose 1, Aquas, Darkest, Chaos, Pyrus, or Ventus. Your opponent reveals their hand and discards all cards of the faction chosen. So yeah, if you get the card early enough, and you're playing against the wrong deck, it could definitely be a devastating blow to them. A rest in peace mono decks. So yeah, really good card. 2 copies of it. I would maybe play 3 copies of this if I had a 3rd copy, but I think 2 is just fine, honestly. It's broken by all means, but in this deck I don't think I'd play 3 copies because, like I said, I was gonna drop this to 2 anyway. So yeah, that's it for the action cards. All right, next up we have the heroes, right? Cool. So we play 3 copies of the man himself, Dan the Man, Dan Kuzo from Battle Brawlers. He's a 4 cost hero, and if you don't know what he does, when you open a Bakugan, reveal a top card of your deck. If it's not a flip card, you can play it for free. So simple enough. Get this bad boy on the floor, on the battlefield, the field, whatever. Make sure it's another extender. Just makes more cards for free. Have it for free. Just a good card to have. Actually, yeah, that was another reason too. Almost before I forget. It's fun and just to have this on the board, and then to get off cards like Darkest Shadow for free, or even Thought Decay as well. Typically I don't play this for my hand, but if I have Dan on the board and reveal it, it's definitely a nice just free card. It forces them to use cards early on, and just cards at the hand if they can't use them. And yeah. Put Dan to the side. Alright, next up we have 3 copies of Leah and Dan, the card that makes the empowered deck work. So 4 cost, hero, you may empower cards for free. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It makes cards like Spirit Speed really good, that second effect where you have to pay the extra energy, the empower effect. The next fight you just play becomes free. You play 2 cards essentially for 3 energy. And yeah, I mean, if you got the right cards, then it can definitely be a really good play. There's another play involving these 2 as well that I'll show you at the end of the video as well. But yeah, Leah and Dan is definitely good. It makes Spirit Speed free. It makes oh yeah, this card as well, Pyro Ascendancy, like I was saying a minute ago. If you have Leah and Dan on the board, then this is a free 700B. That's amazing. It's a free reroll and free 700B. Just getting better than that, honestly. So yeah, Leah and Dan. Alright, next up, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, actually. E. Alright, so I didn't used to like this guy at all, but he's pretty good. 5 cost hero, costs a lot, yeah, I know. But it says, when you open a Bakugan, 3 plus energy for the turn. So, yeah, I'm going to break down the play for you that I'd use with him in a minute, but basically it's just really nice getting him on the board, with cards like Superfuel, makes it cheaper to play, and then also, like I was saying a minute ago, Spirit Speed. Drop Spirit Speed, then drop E. You just, yeah, if you drop Spirit Speed before you roll and you play E, right? When you open the Bakugan, you get 3 energy back. So essentially, the E pays for itself. As long as you open, you get that 3 energy back, and you got an E on board. It doesn't even matter if you win or lose the battle. The next turn, it's like a steamroll. It just generates more, more it gets you going in the long run. It gives you more of a lose my damn train of thought. It just gives you more energy to make plays. Yeah. Okay, cool. So get out the way, get you out the way. Cool. Alright, and the last hero that we play 3 copies of Magnus, the ultimate rival. This guy came from what is it? Age of Relics? Yeah, that's where he came from. So 5-cost hero. When you play this, search your deck for a card, then shuffle your deck. If you have 3 or more of this card in play, your Bakugan can get 300B and 3 extra damage. So it's very rare that I get off all 3 in the same game, but it's definitely possible. You know, if the card doesn't get milled. But I'll also break that down for you in a moment. How it's possible to get all 3 of them on board. All right, so that wraps up the heroes. Getting into, nope, not those. The Baku gear. All right, so we play 3 copies of Glimmering Glaive because it is the best Chaos Baku gear that we have. 4-cost gear. When you play this, you may attach a Baku core from the field to one of your Bakugan, and it gives you plus 400B as well. So typically, if you hit that -2 gear reduction core, doesn't matter which one, but any of them, this card becomes 2. Call it 2 costs. So turn 2, you know, open the gear reduction like I said, drop the glaive, snag one of your opponent's magic shields, maybe whatever core you know they might want, take that from them, gain some more advantage. Yeah, really good card. All right. Next up, we have another Empower card, 2 copies of Crystal Blaster. This is also another card from Fusion Force. 5-cost gear. Empower. When you play this, you may pay 3 energy to destroy all opposing Evo cards, Hero cards, and Baku gear. And it gives you plus 500B and 5 damage. Really strong card. It can cost 3 to drop, you know, like I said with that gear reduction, if you decide to grab one of those. And then if you have Leah and Dan on board, that Empower effect is insane. Just wipe the board pretty much of whatever advantage they had. And like I said, it also gives you 500B and 5 damage, so it just makes your guys stronger in the long run and just makes them beefier. And last but not least, for the gears, we have 1 copy of Darkest Fire Defense. This card is insane. 99 damage. If you can see the video that we posted, the battle video, I definitely recommend you go check it out. There's a surprise at the very end of the video if you stick to the end of it. But yeah, this is solely for cheese, honestly. It's just a one of. I can technically search this out with Magnus if the situation is right. But this is like my one counter to minus Indius and Mac. Yeah, if I drop this, you know, you better have like a washed away or some other way to top this, because 99 damage, that's pretty insane, I like to think. So yeah, Darkest Fire Defense. Alright, and wrapping things up, the last portion of the deck, we have the flip cards. We have 3 copies of Confuse and 3 copies of Constrictor. Confuse, it's a 1 cost, stop a Bakugan holding a Fire Fist or a Magic Shield. Everyone likes to play Magic Shields and Fire Fists. You know, they're like the most prominent cores that we use. A lot of people use, a lot of decks use, so you know, that's really good. And Constrictor is like the opposite in a way. It's a 1 cost, stop a Bakugan holding a Green Fist or a Helix. Green Fists are, I guess, you know, they're prominent, I guess. People use Green Fists, kind of have to, you know, depending on the Bakugan they're using, like Hydrus and whatnot. And Helix, you know, a lot of people are using like Aqua's Hydrus, Vintage Raozu, Darkest Krikilios, you know, just there's other Bakugan using Helixes, so it's a cheap flip to stop them from hitting big damage on you. I could play Pack in the deck, honestly, but I kind of like hand advantage, honestly, so I probably won't be playing that in the deck. But who knows? Okay, cool. So, alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of technical difficulty. Alright, so wrapping up the deck profile, but wrapping up the combos as well for the deck. This first play consists of playing Spirit Speed and E together. So, what you'll do is, start of turn 3 or whatever turn you set, roll Dragonoid Treaders, this little guy right here. Before you actually roll, you'll go ahead and drop Spirit Speed. And like I said a moment ago, I believe I said this, play Spirit Speed, you'll then drop E as well, so you pay 3 energy to drop E, and then when you roll onto your plus 800B Fusion Core for Drago, he'll open and you'll get the 3 energy back. And then from there, with that 3 energy you have, you can flip this bad boy over and fuse him. So he comes out at 2000 B and 5 damage. So that's just one of the plays I like to do in the deck. I think I did that in battle video as well. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I like it. It's a cute play. it helps out a lot. And then also as well, even if I don't win the battle, it gets E on the board. So the turn after that, it just generates more advantage in the long run. It helps helps give me more energy to play Drago Exulator as well. Same thing can be applied with him as well. If I have, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 energy, however energy I need, I drop Spirit Speed, then drop E, get the energy back, and then just fuse the Drago. Cool. That's the first play of the deck. And the second play is something a little similar. Same thing using Spirit Speed. I guess most of these plays consist of playing Spirit Speed. But for this play, you'll need Leah and Dan on board already. You can play Spirit Speed off of Leah and Dan. You'd already have to have Leah and Dan on the board. You couldn't play Spirit Speed, then drop Leah and Dan and do the following combo. But if Leah and Dan's already on the board, you'll play Spirit Speed. And the first card you play, that's 5 or less, becomes free. So you'll drop, with Leah and Dan on the board, you'll get both the effects, the first effect and the second effect. So you'll choose to use the second effect, and you'll drop 2 cards essentially that cost 5 or less for free. So you'll play Magnus with the first effect, play that for free. Search off a card with Magnus. You know, when he's played, you search any card for free. Cool. So you can search out another copy of Magnus, and then with that second effect, the Empower effect, you play this one for free as well. And then with that effect of Magnus, you can search out the third copy as well. And now you won't be able to play it, you know, because Spirit Speed is done now. But should you have a way to play Magnus, you know, for free, for cheap, you get them on the board. You have all 3 on board, and you get that really cool effect of the 300B and 3 extra damage, which will become 900B and 9 damage. So pretty strong, pretty strong. Yeah, that should wrap up that play. And then I believe there's one more. Yeah, with Leah and Dan. I already said before, Pyro Ascendancy becomes really good as well late game. That 3 extra energy, the 3 energy you want to pay, you get 700B, and it's just free. It's a free 700B, so it's really good in the long run. And as well with the rerolls, it's really fun to abuse E. You get that extra damage as well. Yeah, you just reroll a couple times, and then boom, you just stack up that extra 3 energy each time. So it makes cards like playing the Drago Exulator, you know, for a lot less than it really is, you know. Just makes it a lot easier to play. But yeah, that wraps up the deck profile for this, guys. If you enjoyed this deck profile, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment how you feel about the deck. Maybe some constructive criticism on how to tweak the deck to make it maybe a little better. And you know, subscribe to the channel to tune in for more videos. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.